Well. Good afternoon. Really late afternoon, early evening, West Ham fans. It's time for your favourite time of the week. It's time for the Academy Show, although a slightly reduced Academy Show. Let's get into it. So it is the Academy Show every week. For anyone new to the channel, every Monday, 6 o'clock, we do the Academy Show, whereby we just take some time out, just talk about the Academy specifically. It's an incredibly important part of what is West Ham, and there's not enough coverage of it. So that's why we do what we do. Obviously, international break, so a number of players are off on international duty, but still, we can talk a little bit about that as well, and also talk about some really interesting stuff around players we've been linked with, academy youngsters we've been linked with, and also contract news as well. FA Cup, Youth Cup draw has happened, all that type of stuff. So let's crack into it now. So let's start with a bit of transfer news, but affecting arguably the academy, I would suggest. That's why I put it in this one. According to the Sun on Sunday, yesterday, the Airdrie twins, Cole and Dylan Williams, are being scouted by West Ham, Celtic, and Southampton. The teenage duo were previously booked on the Celtic books, but are now with Airdrie, and they are under long-term contracts and are said to be about to quit. The Irons and Southampton are apparently leading the chase for the Williams brothers. It's fair to say not a great deal is known about these players, to be honest, from a West Ham perspective, but they have been scouting them. But Celtic also are well aware of them, obviously previously on their books. If we do indeed get them, we'll have to move swiftly to fend off competition from the likes of Southampton, who have very good youth system, as well as Celtic. But it won't be easy. Now, Dylan and Cole aren't going to come in and go straight into the first team. They're going to go into the academy in the same way that we bought David Chigueda, we bought David Bulagon, and then obviously Chigueda signed his first pro deal last week. So again, it's showing we're looking not just above the first team, but doing our due diligence and bringing in players at a younger level to build them up in time to get into the first team. A bit like, to the extent of Luis Guilherme, he was never brought in as a player who was going to go straight into the first team. He was going to be one based on potential. And I think next year you'll see a lot more from Lewis based on players leaving and coming, or players leaving rather. And I think, again, it's good to see we've got a recruitment set up within the academy as well. And the new proclaimers, they were twins, weren't they? They were from Scotland. But yeah, it's great to see, and it is encouraging to see as well. But as well as bringing in new players for the academy, we're looking at tying down the existing academy players to long-term deals. We've obviously had the likes of Lewis Orford, we've had the likes of Ollie Scholes, Finn Herrick. They've all signed multi-year deals, as well as the likes of Callum Marshall, Patrick Kelly. They're all tied down to longer-term deals. Not as long as the likes of Lewis. I think they're on 5-year deals, and Henry Finn's on 5-year deal, and Ollie's on a 4+1. But Elijah Sowumni, a guy we've spoken about last couple of weeks, really, he's been hitting the hat tricks. Apparently, we are ready to offer him a new deal. He's just turned 17, so he's able to sign a pro deal now. He's highly regarded at West Ham, and his goal-scoring exploits have brought him into the radar of a number of Premier League top guns, which is why we're trying to tie him down to a pro deal now. He scored a hat-trick against Villa under 18s last week, and that's his second hat-trick in 3 games, I think. He's a great player, Elijah. He's got a lot of potential. He can play left, can play on the right, can play attacking midfield as well. He's signed scholarship deals, terms at West Ham last season, and has been a regular in under 18s for the Irons this year. As I said, he's banging them in. He's also playing the under 21s as well this season. So far, 10 goals, and just shows the next step of his development is obviously more game time in the 18s and then progressing into the 21s possibly for next year. So tying him down to a pro deal is very, very useful indeed. Very useful. Speaking of the under 18s, we obviously, don't forget, a couple of years ago won the FA Youth Cup. Great day at Arsenal, wasn't it? 7,000 of us there. I was there. Great fun indeed seeing the likes of Caelan Casey, Divine and Barmer, Patrick Kelly, Callum Marshall, all lifting that trophy. Now we've been drawn in the third round at home to Grimsby Town. It's the 73rd edition of the FA Youth Cup. We have to have the game played by Saturday the 14th. I imagine because it's the FA Youth Cup that we played at Rush Green, so I'll be on the world ones and twos. So as soon as I know, I'll let you guys know. Obviously, we enter the third round alongside all the other Premier League and Championship clubs, a bit like the normal FA Cup. So, the Premier League and Championship clubs go in at the third level, third round of the FA Youth Cup. As well as the likes of Carlisle United, Wrexham, as well as 11 other first teamers. 14 League Two sides, 11 non-league sides, all due to play the second round in November, and then that will go into the third round. So, as I said, we were initially drawn against Grimsby or Salford City, but Grimsby confirmed their place, beating them 3-2 Salford on Friday night. So that's been confirmed now. So the current crop of under-18s are currently sitting sixth in the Premier League South and are enjoying a good spell at the moment with one defeat in 10 and a run of games that stretches back to the opening day of the season now. In the last outing, we obviously won 3-1 with Elijah scoring a hat-trick. So great to see and looking forward to a bit of cup action with the academy players this side of the new year as well. And then obviously January, we get the third round draw for the men. Now, Loan Watch, obviously international break, we'll talk about that in a tick. But a few players did make some minutes or appeared in matchday squads from the academy. Good minutes for Mr. Patrick Kelly. PK played the first 84 minutes in Doncaster's 1-1 home draw against Salford City. A Salford City, let me just check that. I've got a feeling that what's his face would have played Dan Chester's because he moved to Salford. Should have had a little check ready for him, but hey ho. Did Dan play? The answer is no. There we go. Elsewhere, Michael Forbes was an unused matchday sub in Bristol Rovers' 0-0 draw, home draw with Crawley Town. And probably most interestingly, Mason Terry, obviously on loan at AFC Hornchurch. They bowed out of the FA Trophy in the second round as they fell to fellow National League South opponents, Enfield Town, on penalties. It's the fourth consecutive season in which Hornchurch have been eliminated by a penalty shootout following winning the competition itself, the FA Trophy, in the 2021 season. It was 1-1, with Enfield equalising in the second half, forcing a penalty shootout. Terry saved Enfield's second penalty to give his team the advantage, but they failed to capitalise, missing the target on the last two kicks, spot kicks, as they lost to Enfield 8-7 on not aggregate in the penalty shootout. And also, as I said, international duty at the moment for a lot of our players, of our academy players. Finn Herrick kept his clean sheet for the England under-19s on Thursday last week, as they defeated Lithuania 1-0 in their first under-19 UEFA European Championship qualifier in Bulgaria. That was he's had 3 first clean sheet, I think, in his third appearance in under-19s. And he currently boasts the best goals conceded per game ratio of the England goalkeepers in his age group. Lewis Orford watched from the bench and was actually then featured on Saturday. The England under-19s, they beat Bulgaria 2-1 with Lewis scoring as well, with Finn being on the bench for that one. Elsewhere, in terms of the under-19s European qualifications, Josh Briggs earned his 12th cap for Northern Ireland under-19s as they were defeated 4-0 by Denmark in Group 11 opener. And then him and his Northern Ireland team returned to action on Saturday and lost to Israel 3-1. There we go. As I said, keep an eye on the channel. As I said, we're always providing you with all the latest news and reviews and opinions when it comes to the academy, as well as the first team, of course, as well. Some fantastic fingers crossed, some really good interviews being lined up as well. Very excited for them. And until next time, take care. Stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Keep the faith, my friends, and come on, you bloody irons.